Yeah,
And
me, I kind of think, yeah, I think this is kind of a lousy example, but me, I kind of think of it as like when I used to live in a bigger city years ago, I sometimes
Mhm.
I knew generally where I was, but it was just getting to that other part of the city that I couldn't quite figure out, or I would be driving around for a while to try to figure it out. So sometimes I'd use the GPS just to get me over there. And then once I was over there, I knew where I needed to go. I'm like, okay, I don't need you anymore. Like, you can shut up now. I know where I'm going. So I kind of
Yeah,
think of AI as the same thing. Like, okay, I
yeah,
need this to kind of get this. I was like, okay, I don't need you anymore. You can go away now. I got it.
yeah.
So,
Bar City, the place to be. Life's a madness, wild and free. Tune in now, let the good vibes flow. Bar City, your favorite show.
Welcome back to Barf City, episode 91. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin.
Well, sorry that there was no episode last week. I had a lot of personal stuff to deal with, and apparently Kevin couldn't talk by himself because he had no idea what to
Yeah, it's not that I didn't know what to do.
do.
It's harder to do a solo episode if you don't have like a topic in mind. So because otherwise I'm gonna
Yeah.
be sitting there with the microphone on going,
Well, at least with a solo one, you can just do multiple takes until you got it right.
That's true. I guess I could have just kept hitting the pause record button, I guess, every time I drew a blank. So which would have probably been quite a while. So quite
Right.
a bit. Taking me like 3 hours to record one episode. Oh man.
So, apparently, AI, as officially they finally stated, the Academy Awards, whatever, for the film and stuff, the Academy Film Awards, will not be entering anything that has anything that's AI unless it's just AI to help enhance. If it's AI enhanced, it's apparently it's fine, but if it's AI or deep faked, it is no longer allowed.
And two, oh, Academy Awards. Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
And which I'm glad about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with that. I would agree not allowing that in. So, yeah, speaking of AI, it's crazy the amount of stuff that's been slowly been revealed that people were using AI with in the indie game world and the modding community and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff's been
Mm-hmm.
coming out now, and there was some of the like mods and some of the indie games and stuff like that. I didn't even realize what they were using AI that apparently they were using AI for. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So and yeah, it's been slowly kind of coming out here and there and people have been like revealing them. So,
Yeah, it's
so
gotten so bad that now apparently TikTok, if your stuff looks even remotely like it might have been used or made with AI,
yeah.
it um gets flagged immediately.
Oh really?
Yeah. But like we found that out because my roommate, he paid a guy, and then the guy was working for a year for a Zord sequence for his Baryonyx Megazord. For his, well, not the Megazord because the Megazords are all combined, but for his Baryonyx Zord. And the filming's great. Like the dude done phenomenal work. Like my roommate has pictures of each progress that he was doing with it. But he posted on TikTok, and TikTok, because of how good it is, flagged it as AI and automatically posted AI that this is AI generated on his video.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he had to appeal it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's been happening to a lot of creators. Like one guy was talking on his TikTok channel because he does TikToks that shows off what actually is AI and what's not. You know,
Yeah.
he does it for his fans and everything. His stuff is getting flagged as AI because he's reacting to AI stuff and telling people
Right.
that it's AI,
Right.
even though it actually has him himself talking about it.
Yeah. It's still just
Hmm.
flagging it as AI. Yeah.
But apparently, this deep fake stuff is getting to bed. Kilmer, rest in peace, is apparently about to be in a movie, even though he's dead. So Val Kilmer was supposed to be in a Pacific movie. He had already signed the contract, was going to do it. Well, his family signed the contract to allow the guy who's making the film to go ahead and use his likeness through deep fakes and AI to still have him in the film.
Oh,
Yeah. And that's another thing that the Academy is getting annoyed with is all the deep fakes. Is, actors who are long dead being put in movies or fan stuff through AI and deepfakes. So they're cracking down on a lot of this stuff,
dang.
which I think is good
Yeah.
because AI is an enhancer tool, not a crutch.
Yeah.
Because it literally, like, you can even ask, like, Gemini or something when you ask how AI should be used, it'll give you the response that it should be used to enhance shadows or ideas or basically if you make a CGI film and something CGI, you can use AI to enhance it to make it a little bit better, to pop it
Yeah.
a little bit more. But as far as that, it should not be used because to make the entire film.
Yeah.
Because even AI, like Gemini said, it says itself, it responds to and gets better by the better we get and put out in the of the film and pictures and stuff that we put out. If it gets to a point where it is all AI generated, AI cannot even advance itself because there'd be
Yeah.
no way to advance it. It has nothing to work on. So limiting AI's use in media is highly good.
Yeah. Plus, I would argue if you plan on which, and Hollywood media, of course, if you plan on making money on something, I think using AI is probably not the best idea. I think you should,
No.
you know, use it. Like it's different if you're making it for just like a personal project and you're not making actually any money on it. Like that's fine. I don't really have a
Yeah.
problem with that. That's fine.
Like I've
Because
always
I
thought
get it.
about,
Not everyone can afford an artist to do something, because especially if it's just a personal project that they're not making money on. But
yeah,
yeah, if you plan on
that's
making money or know you're going to make money on it, yeah, don't. I I really would not recommend using AI. Yeah.
nah. Like I was telling my roommate, like the only time I would use AI to do a full animation or something is if I want, because at one point I was thinking about, because I listen to all these what ifs for Star Wars and these other medias and stuff that I consume.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to some of them. I'm like, you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid, dumb, or fucking stupid? Like, apparently you do not watch the media. You are what ifing. Because the what if, it's just altering something. What if this happened or this happened? If you know the characters, you know theoretically could have happened if, say, Qui-Gon didn't die. Anakin would never become Darth Vader. Pure and simple.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan would never have been his teacher. It'd have been Qui-Gon, who's more of a father figure who'd kept him in line instead of it being like brothers.
Yeah.
And I would use AI to animate the what if.
Yeah.
Now that I would do because I can't make no money off what ifs realistically because it can be copyrighted to this and that.
Yeah.
But as far as anything like, yes, and we will admit it, we can say, our intro is AI.
Yeah.
A lot of that
Plus,
is because I don't want to actually deal with hunting down people to actually perform at the level we are with our podcast. If we
yeah.
ever get bigger and more popular, we will probably do a full on intro made by someone.
Yeah, like if we started making money on our podcast, obviously those things would be replaced. Yeah.
Yeah.
We would not continue to use the AI.
No,
So,
hell no. It's a placeholder and it's a good
yeah.
placeholder. I like it. I did a lot of work with that and writing the lyrics because the lyrics are my writing. I did
Yeah.
do that. Yes, I can sing, but I am not a music mixer. I cannot play instruments and I can't sing to that quality.
Yeah.
So, gotta do something with a little bit. Also, like I've tried to find people that were making songs, and for one, the ones I could find that are free were extremely expensive,
Yeah.
or they're just not interested. Not in something as
Yeah.
simple as a song for a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy or cheap with some type of art. Yes, if you're making a project like our podcast where we're not actually making any money on it or anything like that, and we're just security guards. We obviously don't have that much money to work with when it comes to making stuff like that. So,
Granted, like I could scrounge up and do this or that. I
yeah.
could budget
Hopefully
it. I
hopefully
could
one
really
day
do
we
it.
can make a better intro, I think. Which the
Yeah.
intro we were using, that one was not AI, but it was just a standard music intro.
Yeah.
So it didn't have any lyrics in it or anything like
It
that.
was
So
a
we
fair
wanted
use
one.
music
We
intro, the
wanted
one
one
the
with
one we're using. Yeah.
yeah, with lyrics. So that's why we did that.
So like I'm not fully opposed to using AI because that'd be hypocritical of me. But using it when you're not making money or for a fun project or as an enhancement tool. If you're
Yeah.
making a big budget film, hell, what was it? One of the Power Rangers shows that they were going to be doing that Hasbro cleared for these group to do. I'm trying to remember what their name is, but it was official sanctioned little kid show that these people wanted to do with Power Rangers. Hasbro completely pulled them out because their entire intro was AI.
Oh wow.
And they had Hasbro giving them money to make the show.
Dang.
And I think most of their CGI was also AI done. And that pissed Hasbro off.
Yeah. I
Because,
don't blame
like,
them if they were giving them money. So,
mhm. It's like with my roommate, he doesn't have a lot of money, yeah. But, like, he paid in instruments to, while this guy was sitting there busting his ass to animate just the brown baryonic Zord coming out of a swamp and running across Arkansas. And so, I mean, it's possible on low budget to do stuff, but
oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes people get lucky because they just know somebody, sometimes that always helps. They know somebody that can
mhm,
do something. Or, like I said, maybe they just have the technical skills themselves to make it happen.
yeah.
And so those are, of course, are exceptions. But yeah, not everyone has those exceptions. So I understand if someone's making
hmm
so we're not coming at people that like are making like a personal project that they're not making any
Yeah.
money on or have no plans to make money on or whatever, and they don't know anybody or don't have
hmm
the skills to do that. Like that's
But
fine. We get it. So yeah.
what if your project does eventually make money and you're making money, don't
Yeah.
use fucking AI.
Yeah,
Move on.
start swapping some of that stuff out, yeah,
Yeah,
or
there's some
whatever it
people.
is,
There's
yeah.
people out there that needs a job, and
Yeah.
there's so many artists and CGI artists and and whatever artists you want to say, artistical people in general. Testicle.
Yeah.
There's a new word for you. Testicle. Use them, like pay them. They need a job. I mean, they got a career for this stuff. Some of them went to school and just because there's an influx of them, couldn't get a job.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll admit sometimes I've used AI not to release publicly, but to like use just for my own self as a visual, like
Hmm.
in my game. Like there's sometimes like for if I wanted something specific and like I want to see it, in front of my face to see if it'll actually work or not in my game. So sometimes I'll use an AI generator to throw it up real quick, but that's just a stand-in graphic. That was never gonna be in the final game. I was like just seeing what it looked like, and I was like, okay, and now I know this works, and so now I replaced it
Yeah,
with an actual artist so doing
yeah.
it.
You're
So
using it as a concept artist.
yeah, I didn't want to pay an artist to do something and to only find out that it wouldn't even work. So I needed to see if it would work first and see what it looked like, and then I moved on to the artist. So basically, so sometimes if someone's doing something like that, or kind of like what you mentioned earlier, admittedly, there's been a few times I've used AI to generate an idea, but then I like maybe for a story or for a concept for something.
Yeah,
But then I took that idea and wrote one myself. I didn't like generate like the full, like I didn't like generate a story or whatever, like out of AI. I just to get an idea flowing. And it's really, to me, it's not really all that different than like Googling
talking to
ideas or,
somebody.
yeah. Like if you're sitting there, start Googling ideas, which of course lots of people do. They're like, hey, does anyone have any ideas for like, just something random, like an enemy or something? And then people
Yeah,
on Reddit are throwing out ideas.
yeah.
To me,
Because
that's the same thing. So
when you don't have a
so,
studio, you don't have a group of people to bounce ideas off of and get
yeah,
feedback directly. That's, using it as a soundboard. Again, that's using as an enhancement tool, not a crutch.
yeah.
But
And that's what
yeah,
AI really should be. It should just be a tool, to help get the ball rolling, and then that's where it should end. Like the ideas should come from you, the artist should come from artist, all that stuff, especially when money is involved.
yeah.
So, but yeah,
So
definitely don't have a problem with using it as to get something going. So,
yeah, if you're a broke bitch and you just want to get something going, AI is fine. That's what it's used
yeah,
for. If you got money, got connections, only use it as a enhancement tool or get your crew of people. Like, with me building my tabletops, my LLC, I've used it as a sounding board to get my ideas flowing because there's some things I couldn't quite figure out. And plus, with the AI like Gemini, I can ask it to look up certain things and give me a whole formatted in a certain way. I don't have to go through this page and this page and this page to look up information. I can just have
right,
it pull it all and put it in one little neat little package for me to read because, when you're dealing with something, sci-fi fantasy with kaijus and tears through times and space, and I'm trying to make it as realistic sci-fi as I possibly can. So there's a
yeah,
lot of information that I need. I don't always have time. I work a 40-hour job. We do the podcast. I still have stuff at home to do. I'm married and all this. you know, when my buddy who's making the LLC with me is busy, hell, I even do it with truck drivers I've talked to and you know,
yeah,
it's just when I don't have the people to soundboard off of, I pull all this information, soundboard it off the AI, and probably use only about 25% of it. Because
yeah,
then my brain's like, oh yeah, never mind, I don't need that.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
and
me, I kind of think, yeah, I think this is kind of a lousy example, but me, I kind of think of it as like when I used to live in a bigger city years ago, I sometimes
Mhm.
I knew generally where I was, but it was just getting to that other part of the city that I couldn't quite figure out, or I would be driving around for a while to try to figure it out. So sometimes I'd use the GPS just to get me over there. And then once I was over there, I knew where I needed to go. I'm like, okay, I don't need you anymore. Like, you can shut up now. I know where I'm going. So I kind of
Yeah,
think of AI as the same thing. Like, okay, I
yeah,
need this to kind of get this. I was like, okay, I don't need you anymore. You can go away now. I got it.
yeah.
So,
And you can do that with AI. You can't do that with a
yeah.
person. I feel like an absolute shite sitting there
Yeah.
going, "Hey,
Just
can you do you know about this stuff? I know you do. We talked
yeah.
about it before. Can you give me some blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't need that. Never mind. Fuck off."
Right. Like, okay, go away now. I got the idea. Yeah. Like, oh, gee, thanks. Yeah.
But like when you have a whole crew of people, that's a little different. You can bounce off each
Yeah.
other, and
Oops.
but when you're one, two, three people, it's kind of your echo chamber is not as good.
Yeah.
And like my brain, the way I comprehend things, like I know all that I know, but when I regurgitate it, everyone's gonna look at me like, what? Because I went from here to here to here to, oh, look, there's a fucking squirrel. And so I literally use my wife because she's very organized. She's organized most of my brain. I love her to death. And AI to literally organize it. I will literally type in all this stuff into Gemini, get it to organize everything, and then send to her, and then she organizes for even further because, well, I'm not very good at organizing, and since I'm not, the AI is only half-ass at it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that people don't want to think about is to get AI to do anything remotely good in good quality without any abbreviations because like sometimes they fuck up on the hand or the eyes or whatever. You have to be so fucking descriptive, it's
Oh yeah.
almost not even worth it to get it to
Yeah.
do everything you need. Because like when I'm the lyrics to this to the podcast right now, I rewrote those. I put in a concept to what I needed the AI to do. It gave me a decent song. I took those lyrics, had to change so many words, change the bridge, alter the pacing, alter the tune. I had to do so much work to get it to sound even as decent as it did. Not really worth it.
Yeah. It's like at that point you might as well just wrote it yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I technically did.
Yeah. You just
And
used it to get the ball rolling. Yeah. So
and rewrites after rewrites for it. And then because with another person, yeah, might have to do that stuff, but like I can go up to the guy and be like, "Hey, we're just two guys that do a podcast called Barf City, and we like doing goofy topics on games, media, whatever. And we need a cool, catchy kind of beat. We can tell them the genre. 'Cause that's another thing. The AI app only has so many genres it can work with. None of them are actually what we wanted of the genre. I just had to get as close as possible. And we could just do that, and they go on the ball. And the actual person was probably had already rewritten the script 3 4 times, well, not the script, but the lyrics
yeah.
before they even found one that they thought was good enough to produce and show to the payer, the person who's paying for their service. All we are is just the guys who agree and pay in that situation, not the ones that have to do all the fucking work.
Yeah.
Because like I have made use AI to make images of characters that I play in tabletops.
Yeah.
And oh my god, to get some of these characters perfect for my description, like for in detail. I don't see how people can have the patience to actually use AI to fully CGI
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, especially when you're making a full-on project. If you ever see like one on YouTube or something, I'm like, how much time did they put into like generating all that? Because they had to like probably redo like parts over and over and over again to try to get it like exactly the way they wanted. Either that or I guess they had to manually maybe go through and change some stuff. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like even for the artwork that I didn't even use for my game, that didn't even make it into the game, obviously. Even for that, to get it to look the way I wanted, I had to go through and manually change stuff on there. Like, so I literally took, like an art tool and went through and changed parts of it because when it generated, I was like, okay, well, that's not looking exactly the way what I was picturing in my head. No matter how many times I generated it over and over again, I still had to go through and manually change parts of it.
Yeah,
And it wasn't even going to be used for the game. I just wanted it to look a certain way so I could see that it was working properly.
yeah,
So, and then like I said, I swapped it out. So,
yeah. So like, because like in the
so
end, it's
even
just
for using it as a tool, sometimes it's a pain in the butt. Yeah. So,
yeah. Like I'd rather spend money and save time
yeah.
than save money and spend so much extra time.
Yeah. Maybe with those paid AI generators, maybe they work a little better. I don't know. I've never used any of those. I always just use the free ones. So,
Same.
yeah.
Now that's another thing that irritates me with AI is they just do a program and they're like, oh, but you gotta pay for the good parts of the program.
Yeah. And the amount of money that they want a month too is crazy. Like some of those AI generators, I'm like, geez, that's more than like a freaking subscription to Netflix. I'm like, that's crazy how much they want. So,
Yeah. And a lot of it is still crappy quality because it's
yeah.
AI.
So,
And most of it you're just paying to unlock unlimited pictures or whatever.
right. You're essentially still getting the same results. It's just they're going to let you generate it as many times as you want. Yeah. So,
Yeah, which granted you're gonna need it because I've had images that I've had to wait a whole day. I've
mhm.
used up 20 fucking images and it
Yeah.
still was not right. I had to
Right.
wait an
Still can't get it the
entire
way you want it. Yeah.
day. And then you also got to calculate a lot of AI have copyright restrictions on them.
Yep. That's true.
So, like, I completely designed, I was testing it, right? Because spiders are not, you cannot copyright a spider.
Right. I don't even know how you could. Yeah.
So, making a spider logo, even I literally full on customized a spider logo. I designed how its legs are going to be shaped, how it's going to wrap around the suit, how many mandibles it had, its color, its abdomen shape, everything. Literally looking at every single version of Spider-Man's logos through all the years. I have done some hell of testing with AI. Apparently, I'm more patient than I think sometimes. But that's also, I get locked into something I'm curious on, and I kind of that's when I become patient. If I'm just rush, yeah, and literally took me, I kid you not, 2 weeks just to get it to not be like, oh, that's copyrighted image. Bitch, no, it ain't.
Like, how is that copyrighted? Yeah.
And it literally, and it got to the point where it started saying that the copyright imaging system that AIs use flagged it because it's too easily noticeable as a Spider-Man because
Oh,
Spider-Man is
wow.
so common. Because Spider-Man is so popular, so common, that image would be used as like I even literally changed the insect to an insect that's spider like.
Right. Like a different type of arachnid type insect. Yeah.
Yes. And it's not a spider. It just has similar features to a spider in the aspect of the legs, but it's did you ever watch Harry Potter?
Yeah. I've seen the first four, I think.
You remember when Mad Eye Moody was doing the with that spider thing when he was moving around the classroom
Oh,
and
maybe. I don't really remember.
showing them the three unforgivable curses
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah.
when he did the whole Cruciatus in front of Neville, whose family was, his parents were killed because of the Cruciatus curse.
Yeah.
That thing in there is not actually a spider. It actually even has pincers. I utilized that image of one of those.
Ah,
I
yeah.
made a silhouette of it and manipulated it, and it said that was too close to Spider-Man's emblem. It's not even a spider.
Like, dude, yeah,
So like, unless they're using something like Sora, which is no longer around, um,
yeah.
a lot of it probably you have to literally use the more expensive outsourced ones to do anything, even if it's just inspired by something, because it can be like, oh, too close to that one thing. It's copyrighted. But yeah, that's my rant on AI. I haven't had a good rant on the podcast in a little bit, maybe a couple episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, there's also I've one thing I didn't mention was there's been some artists. Well, this part I don't personally have a problem with. I know I got done saying, well, if you're making money, then you shouldn't be using AI. But this actually little tiny part, like it doesn't bother me. I don't know how other people feel about it, but in the scary stories episodes I listen to, a lot of times for the thumbnails, you could tell that the little picture on there, they just quickly throw it in AI and then slap some text on top of it, and like that part doesn't bother me because it's just a thumbnail. So, and it's not like,
Yeah.
as long as they're not like, now I'm sure there probably are channels that do this, but as far as I'm aware, I'm not subscribed to any of them. But where, as long as they're not like using like AI voices and like generating, like the whole story in AI
Oh
or
yeah,
something like that, like,
there is AI voice
yeah,
stories. I've caught
yeah.
quite a few of them, and I do not like them at all.
Yeah, I'm sure there probably are channels that do that, but as far as I'm aware, I'm not subscribed to any of those. So, like, all mine are like actual people reading a story that's actually like someone story, whether
Uh,
that story is true or not, but it's still
mhm.
someone's story, So,
Yeah,
but there's a lot of these channels, you can tell that the thumbnail, they just kind of throw it in there. But there's one particular YouTuber, he has decided he didn't want to use AI anymore for the thumbnails. So he actually started reaching out to various artists and having them draw out a thumbnail, like a creepy looking thumbnail for him. And they
hmm
actually look really like they stand out really well because obviously, like, if people are just quickly throwing it, kind of like we were talking about before, if you're not like going through and manually changing anything on there and you're just quickly generating a picture and throwing some text on there, like it's going to look generic. And so like his stand out like a lot and they look really good. So I was like, I commend him to doing that. And he always gives the artist a shout out. If I can remember, I'll put his channel in the show notes or the description. But yeah,
yeah.
like he's just a YouTuber that decided he was like, yeah, I don't really want to use those AI thumbnails anymore, so I'm gonna use actual like artists. So, but me personally, I like at the end that is really cool, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. They're just thumbnails to me. Like I don't like people aren't there for the thumbnails; they're there for the stories.
I don't
So
know. Sometimes those thumbnails are really clickbaity and catch people's attention. That's what they're meant to be for,
yeah, I
the
mean, I
grabbers.
guess you could say that. Most of them I see though, they don't like they just kind of look generic to me, most of them. Now, some of them like
Hmm
you could tell maybe if they did AI generate them and they have a really good AI generator or like we said they manually change things, maybe those it could be an exception, but most of them I see like 90% of them like they just look really generic to me. So, I don't really think
Yeah.
they help all that much like them getting video views. I think they're just
Nah,
popular.
probably not.
Yeah, most of them that already get a lot of views, they're just popular YouTubers on there that read stories, and so people are just going to click on them regardless of whether they use that or not. So, but yeah, if someone's like using it for like a specific thumbnail for like some kind of video or something, now that might be a little different. Like, because this isn't just like throwing a quick creepy looking picture and throwing some text on top of it. So that might be more like they're doing a bunch of crap and making it like that could be more debatable amongst people if they find that if that bothers them or not. So them doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is me in post editing of the episode. I completely forgot during the episode that I was going to read off this funny little post here I found online. And ironically, this post was obviously created by ChatGPT. And it's funny that Eric just happened to start talking about AI during the episode. So But yeah, we started ranting about AI, and then it just completely slipped my mind to read this. But basically, this is a what the situation is someone created this game that I'm pretty sure was almost completely generated through AI, or at least somewhat generated. Maybe at least the artwork and probably some of the programming too. And it's called Dragon's Dog Mother, and and so someone, as a joke, decided to generate a review through ChatGPT, uh, and they posted it in the review section. Evidently they put in the prompt in ChatGPT to like post this really dramatic positive review of the game. So, and every time I read it, I just start dying from laughing. So anyway, I'll just read it off here in the post editing of the episode, so that way you can at least get it, because I feel like it kind of makes more sense to have this in this episode since we were already talking about AI anyway. So, I owe this game my life. Dragon's Dog Mother is a transcendent masterpiece beyond words. I don't know how to begin this review without getting emotional. Dragon's Dog Mother didn't just give me entertainment. It didn't just fill my weekend. It gave me a reason to keep doing, or to keep going when everything felt empty. It gave me purpose. It gave me hope. I have played hundreds of games in my life. Some were great, some were unforgettable, but none have reached into my soul and reshaped it like this game did. This isn't a game, it's a living dream. It's grief, love, and fire and steel molded into an open world dark fantasy epic that heals you as much as it hurts you. The opening scene alone destroyed me. A grieving knight, alone in the ruins, finding the lifeless body of his wife, the raw pain, the hopelessness. And then the cloaked figure offers a second chance, a cruel miracle with a terrible cost. In that moment, I was the knight, broken, desperate, willing to fight fate itself. From that point on, Dragon's Dog Mother didn't just uh, take me somewhere. I didn't took me somewhere I didn't think games could go. The world impossibly vast, but never empty. Every ruin, every path, every shadowy crevice has a story. I wandered through lands that felt older than time itself. I lived in this world. I wept in its beauty. Feared its horrors, and I kept playing because it made me feel alive again. The combat? Divine. Fast, fluid, brutal, and beautiful. Whether you're charging in with a lance, firing spells into the dark, or clashing steel with dark nights under blood red skies. Every second feels like you're writing your legend. The bosses, unforgettable. Towering monsters that test your will, your skill, and your courage. The optimization, sorcery. On a machine that struggles with email, this game ran like a dream. It struggles with email. No lag, no crashes, just raw, seamless immersion. How did they do this? It feels like they reached into the future to bring us something into our present tech barely deserves. Oh my gosh. But none of that compares to the story. It's mythic but personal, intimate but epic. This is a tale about what you'd sacrifice for love, for redemption, for one more chance. I cried, genuinely cried. And when the ending came, I sat there for hours staring at the credits, unable to move. It left me breathless, hollow, grateful. This game saved me in a time when I felt like I had nothing left. It gave me something worth holding on to. If that sounds dramatic, I understand. But if you've ever felt lost, if you've ever needed a sign, a spark, something, let Dragon's Dog Mother be it. Final verdict, infinity out of 10. I owe it everything. Thank you, devs. You created more than a game. You gave us a universe, a soul, a second chance. Just like the night, I'll carry this story with me for the rest of my life. But yeah, just a little thing you go there. I thought that was pretty cool that he started doing that. So, and I know there's been a lot of games people have been like video games. People have just been like the whole game is. I'm not even talking about like just the artwork. There's a lot of games where you can tell a lot of the artwork is AI generated too. But there's some of them like they're literally just generating almost the entire game where maybe they went through and changed a few things. Uh, and then trying to sell these games and pass them off as like I'm like people like you think we can't tell that you just AI generated this game and or at least a good portion of it, even if you did some of the work. And like there was one where scrolls like games or is what people are calling them, essentially games that like play like Elder Scrolls. And one of them that people they know that people are fond about the game Daggerfall, such as myself, and so there was one game on there, like he was like, oh, it's just like he's like it plays like old school 90s RPGs like Daggerfall. And when he was showing off the game, like you could tell now the whole game may not have been generated. I don't know about this one, but like you could tell a lot of the artwork was. And the horse, when the character was like walking on the horse, like as soon as I saw it, like I played Daggerfall like tons of hours, and I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's literally the horse from Daggerfall. Like you literally just like AI, like just took that horse and like made it essentially. And unless he literally made it himself and he just copied the horse, either way, one or the other was happening there. And someone even called him out about it in the comments. They were like, "Yeah, that horse sure looks familiar." I'm like, "Yeah, I recognize that immediately." So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the artwork. But yeah, some of the games, people are just AI generating a full-fledged game and then trying to like sell it or something. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, y'all think we can't notice that you generated this with AI? Or again, at least a portion of it, even if they did some of the
Hmm.
work. So
So, completely off of what the topic were, right? So, I came across apparently
oops.
there was a cruise ship that was heading to the Canary Islands as Spain is ready for evacuation because I guess someone on there got sick and it turned out to be the hantavirus.
Oh yeah. I've been seeing some of that stuff online about it.
That's kind of suck. You're going on a cruise and some guy gets sick. It happens, but it turns out to be a really good virus.
Yep.
Ruins your entire vacation. Poor them. I hope
Dent
everything.
yeah. Trapped dense areas like that are definitely a net for, viruses
Hmm.
and infections and stuff like that. I mean, why do you think back in the day, anytime they went on a cruise ship, like half the crew members died, because they would catch some
Yeah.
kind of infection or some kind of, spreading something, some sort of disease or whatever. So, and it just be like a net trap for them, and because it's like, where are they going to go? We can't get away from each other. Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
I hope they're all okay. So from I believe it's
Yeah,
115 people that are sick right now on it.
that was going to Spain, you said?
The Canary Islands.
Oh, the Canarian.
But I guess since Spain's nearby, they're rushing out to help.
Yeah. Jeez, that scared me.
Yeah.
Jeez, I had the fan on because I was hot, and then I got cold, so I turned it off, and now I'm hot again. I'm like, jeez. Hmm.
So I'm gonna have to look into this potentially for next week's episode. Apparently Mark Hamill has gotten himself in some backlash trouble. Luke did not use the Force, apparently. He went Joker mode.
Oh, yeah? What did he do? Something controversial or?
Yeah, actor Mark Hamill, and just to be clear on everyone listening, we do not really get political here. It's just he's a movie actor, we're nerds, and he acts in two of our favorite things. Actor Mark Hamill is facing backlash after sharing a post on Blue Sky that depicted President Donald Trump in a grave. White House spokesman Davis Engel called Hamill a sick individual, while Senator Ted Cruz labeled the post evil. Hamill later apologized, claiming he meant the opposite of dead, but critics are now calling for a Star Wars boycott, apparently.
Uh, oh, okay. No, I didn't hear anything about
Yeah,
that.
I didn't either. It just came across my feed. Because while we talk on here, I actively look at news feeds and in the nerd community and this and that to catch something that either need to be talked about now or something I need to do some research in for later episodes. Kind of multitasking here.
Hmm.
And I came across that and I'm like, ain't
Hmm.
that interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much of a comment on that one. So,
Me neither. I kind of hope that one's actually false information because I mean I like Mark Hamill. I don't care about people's politics in the end, but you don't post pictures of people in the grave. That's kind of rude. That's kind of yeah. Oh, speaking of nerd stuff, so the James Gunn in you know how he's in the seat in Warner Brothers and he controls all DC media now, right?
I don't know who that is.
James Gunn, the guy who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who directed him.
Yeah. He sits comfy in Warner Brothers and is in charge of DC media, movies and all that. So Peacemaker, played by John Cena, his TV show after he technically didn't die in Suicide Squad 2 or Suicide Squad remake and is whatever how they want to put it. Has a TV show, and at the end of season 1, because this is back while Snyder was still doing his Justice League and all that, had the Justice League show up at the end of it for a cameo. You know, and you get a fun little John Cena calling uh Jason Momoa a fish fucker because he's Aquaman. Uh, and but since James Gunn actually likes Peacemaker and he's taken over and reset the DCEU again for the umpteenth time, that fucking DC cannot keep its own universe, right? The cinematic universe going. He's decided he's keeping Peacemaker in the storyline. Well, then we have the Superman movie that just came out, and it introduced Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, and Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. And they're together as the Justice Gang. under a notorious in the comics criminal who pretends to be a good guy, kind of like Lex Luthor kind of style, all money and all that crap. But I don't know how he's gonna play him off in the actual movies, but because he wanted a Peacemaker to still be in his universe, when they did flashbacks of the season one ending scene, he erased that entire moment, that entire cameo with the Justice Gang, Superman, and Supergirl. His Superman specifically. Instead of it being Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. He completely erased what they were doing, what they showed at the end of season one, just to keep it in his universe.
Huh.
Yeah, completely rechanged entire scenes for flashbacks. So he didn't have to have any continuity errors, I guess. And he can erase Zack Snyder's stuff more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came across that earlier. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I was wondering how he's gonna make it canon anyways, because he said he likes Peacemaker and he likes John Cena, so he's staying canon to
Yeah.
his universe directly. And apparently the guy does not want any multiverse. He wants to do the DC EU similar to how the MCU did it for the Marvel stuff.
Hmm.
Because they didn't deal with the multiverse until much later with Multiverse of Madness. And of course Kane and Loki. But Kane the Conqueror. But yeah, that's about what all I got today.
That's all you got, huh?
That's all I got. My rant took out all my energy.
Your rant took out all your energy.
Yep. I actually wasn't even planning on getting onto an AI rant. I was originally going to just talk about it a little bit. But
Yeah, I mean, when we do a rant, do we ever really plan it? It just kind of always something that happens. So,
that is true.
or maybe
That
we
is
plan to
true.
like mention the topic, but we didn't maybe plan on going on a full on rant about it. That's just, like, hey, we were
taking
planning on talking about this, but like it turned into a long rant. Yeah. So,
taking up half our episode.
yeah. That's not unheard of for us. So,
No, it's not. It's how we work. I
yeah.
love it.
That's how we roll.
It's how we
This is how we
roll.
do.
um, you know what I didn't do on this episode?
I don't know. What did you not do?
How was your weekday weekend?
Oh yeah. I didn't even notice you didn't ask me that. Uh, let's see. How was it? I don't even know.
Damn.
Uh, it was all right. Or no, that was last weekend. Never mind. Uh, that's probably why I don't remember it. I really didn't do all that much. I just kind of worked on my game and just pushing forward with a lot of little things I got to do on there. A lot of programming and stuff's taking forever to get through all that stuff, but I'm slowly working my way through it. So I'm trying to create a system to where I want it to when you enter the dungeon, basically what's going to happen is the game is going to ask you like well, more or less, this is me paraphrasing like what's actually happening. But the game essentially is asking you like why the player is in that dungeon. Like, are you in there just exploring? Like, you don't actually have any quest
Yeah.
attached to it or anything like that? Then what kind of loot and enemies is going to generate into the dungeon? That it may give you just some standard enemy. Of course, it also asks the now I know people aren't a fan of level scaling, but when you have endless quests, you kind of have to have it at least a little bit. but the only enemies that scale with your level are the human slash elf enemies. Because I
Hmm.
felt like that kind of made sense because it's like, well, if they're a human or an elf, like there's obviously other humans and elves out there that are going to be like, on adventures or on their own personal quests and stuff like that. So it makes sense that after a while, you're eventually going to bump into some that are like, even though you've gotten really strong and trained a lot, like they're going to also match your, level or maybe be slightly stronger than you or whatever. So
Hmm.
it will be asking like what your level is, what you're doing there, and I'm also creating it. I want to take it a little bit beyond that and be like, if you're on a quest in that dungeon, like what kind of quest are you on? It's going to be asking like, are you on this quest looking for this? Let's say you're just as throw out a random example, like let's say you're in this dungeon and you're looking for a specific rogue or something like that, like they've done something and for some reason this guild or faction wants to you to either take them back or kill them or whatever, and so they know you're going to do that. Well, if you're in this dungeon, depending on the quest, could potentially be his or her stronghold. So they may have minions in there too. So it may generate in some more human slash elf enemies that may complement who that person is that you're looking for. So just stuff like that. That's of course is a simple example, but I trying to. It's taken me forever to lay all that out, but eventually I'll have it done, and then it'll be so that way it doesn't feel like when you're walking in the dungeon, it's just that standard, just generate me some enemies. And some of these enemies may have nothing to do with what I'm even doing in the dungeon in the first place. Now, obviously, it's fine if you get a few of those. I mean, it makes sense that you're going to have some enemies wandering around in there, but like just some to kind of make it a little bit more story heavy, complement that quest and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, that was what I've been working on this weekend. So and
Yeah.
I've been in autopilot mode while I do that kind of stuff. So that's probably why I don't remember my weekend all that much. So
Yeah, all I've done is me and the wife has been chilling. She's had the weekend off. She's even sitting right next to me right now.
yeah,
And she'll probably still listen to this episode, even though she's heard it live, except for your part of it, I guess. She hasn't really heard your side. Um,
excuse me.
but I decided that because Daredevil Born Again is on its season two. It's I think it's just finished with her finale, and that it's actually connected fully with its original shows that Netflix started of the Defender series, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones. Well, I noticed in the trailer for season two, Jessica Jones shows up in season two, the same actress. Like, oh, so are they bringing them all in? Are they trying to get all the actors back to continue they were doing when they had let Netflix do it? And so I decided to show my wife all of the stuff because I didn't watch season three of Jessica Jones. I kind of checked out at that season once it was announced that was going to be the last season and Netflix wasn't going to produce anymore. I just kind of gave up, wasn't going to watch it
Yeah,
because it just kind of was going to probably piss me off more that it's going to be the last because those actors did phenomenal in those characters. Um, but now that there's potentially revitalizing them, might as well watch and see how they're going to do it. See if it's going to hold together, how it felt when Netflix was doing it and doing it very fucking well. I've been doing
hmm.
that, and my roommate got me into playing Fortnite.
Oh god,
But I haven't been playing the battleground stuff on Fortnite. So
yeah,
Fortnite is now similar to how Roblox is and has multiple different games. Different,
yeah.
what do they call them? I think they call them worlds. So there's tycoon games and stuff in there. So I've been playing one that's called Droid Factory Tycoon for Star Wars.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah. And they just had a BB-8 event. Is it BB-8? BB-9? Yeah, BB-8. Because there are BB-9s. But they just had an event for BB-8
Talking
this
about
morning.
BB-8 from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a droid factory tycoon for Star Wars. So you all your droids that you get and build, of course, they
Yeah.
have the default gold, diamond, and rainbow versions. I say that's a miss. They were a missed opportunity to use something like, you know, from default to like Beskar and Kyber Crystal. Actually, lean into
Yeah.
this fact that it's Star Wars. But
Yeah.
I digress. Not going to get on another rant.
Oh, come on, rant, rant, rant. Hmm.
Anyways,
We love it when you
so
rant.
comment down below if you actually do that, people. If you actually love the crazy man's rants. Um. Anyways, but it was pretty good. You take the so there's the Jawa's sand. I'm trying to remember what the vehicle's called. It's sand something. But anyways, the Java vehicle they drive, the one where Luke comes up to and gets R2D2 and C3PO out of. Well,
Yeah.
that's sitting there parked, and it has this conveyor belt around it that has these. It almost looks like those little chips you get with toys that have like holographic icons of the toy on the back on it. It's like a little collector's thing they used to do in the early 2000s and 90s.
Yeah.
It looks like that of specific droids, and it'll have how much how much it is to buy that chip, well blueprint, and how much they get that droid will get you per second, and it'll have its default, uh, or gold, diamond, or rainbow, or common, rare, epic, legendary, and you grab it off the conveyor belt and you throw it on to go back to your base, throw it on an assembly, basically a mechanics bench. And you can either let the timer go down or you can hit it with the pickaxe, which you can know you get different types of pickaxes depending on what your skins and stuff you've earned. Um, and you can speed it up by hitting it, which gives you XP per hit. And then you put them to work. They're either combat, astro, or mechanic droids.
Oh,
So
okay.
you just literally and you just collect money, let them go. You send with the Astro Droids, you can right now where I've gotten to my rebirths, I have four ships that the Astro Droids that I put on them can send out on missions to either bring me back I can get one that's just a legendary, which gives you 100% chance to pull a rainbow
Yeah.
version of a droid of any rarity, or go to Mythic, which gives you chips. Because chips, if you're having issues finding the uh tier rarity that you're needing, you can actually go use chips to increase its tier.
Hmm.
But what's being a pain is legendary rarities to get from diamond tier to rainbow tier cost 4,000 chips.
4,000.
Yeah, which each little chip that you can get on the outside of the base gives you 1 to 4 chips per pickup. And that's just now because they've increased it. The droids that they just now changed, because if it's gold, diamond, and rainbow, if you sell the droid, it gives you a certain amount of chips, which you can get up to like 30 to 40 chips from selling like a high rarity rainbow.
Hmm.
And then the Mystic missions, um, they can give you up to 600 chips, but that's only if you get lucky enough because it like rolls through different like pack of chips, and it goes from I think it's like 50 to 600. So you get a random amount of chips from that. So it can sometimes take forever to get the chips you need, and
Yeah.
then Which what I've had bad luck on is I will finally get the chips, boost its rarity, get my rebirth done, go over to the line and look for something, and the rarity of the fucking thing I needed pops up after I spent all the time to force it to that rarity. It'll
Huh.
just pop up on the fucking conveyor belt. Like, hey, didn't you need me like 5 minutes ago after you've been busting your ass for like 3 hours to gather chips? Ugh, I hate that in games sometimes. Oh god, it's fucking annoys the piss out of me. But it's fun. Like, I hate that I'm actually having fun on Fortnite.
Yeah, I
I'm
tried to get it. I remember when Fortnite first came out and got really popular, I tried to get into it then. I don't even remember what that would have been quite a while back. And it just wasn't really my cup of tea. But that was just, I think, the season one version of it. So I don't know what it would be like now if I tried to play it. And
it's
I
season
also did not know.
7 now.
Yeah, I also did not know that they had other types of games on there now. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You have simulators and tycoons, different Battlefield ones. You have the Lego stuff. You can go into a Lego world and actually get a job as every character every avatar that you can buy, whether it be from right now they have the mom pack, which you can it has shows uh Lois from Family Guy, the wife from King of the Hill, and the wife from Bob's Burger.
yeah,
Yeah, you can buy them as your skin. Yeah, and of
that
course,
doesn't surprise me.
and there's always a Lego version of each of those skins. And of course, then you have emotes that you can equip yourself with to use your favorite emotes. And then there's jam tracks. They actually have actual songs on there that you can pop up, and your character is either singing, playing the guitar, bass, guitar, keyboard, or drums to a song. Like I have Take on Me, Never Gonna Give You Up, Stressed Out, two original songs for the Fortnite, and then I have three songs from Star Wars. The Cantina Band, the Imperial March, and the song that one alien chick was singing in Jabba's Palace. And I could just pop him up and start playing them while I'm waiting on shit. It's actually kind of fun to do stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
And then some emotes are stationary, and then some of them are movement ones. And one of them I kind of wanted to buy, but I don't have the V-Bucks. And also for me, because I pay for Xbox Live, I'm automatically connected to their crew, which is their, subscription. It's Fortnite Crew,
Yeah.
which comes added with my Xbox Game Pass. So might as well get some fun out of it, and I get 1,000 V-Bucks every month with that. And if it's still up there, it's the song "Begging You." I'm begging,
Yeah.
begging you. And your avatar literally goes down on his knees and puts his hands together. And he's crawling on his knees.
Wow.
And there's another one that's for the Mortal Kombat pack. Your avatar's hands turn on fire, and you do like the circular spin thing, and you hold
Yeah.
the flame in your hand, and all of a sudden a piece of bread appears up, and you hold it up in the air, and the Mortal Kombat symbol burns into it, and you hear "Toasty." I'm like, okay, that's stupid, and I want it. I would be a horrible rich man because I would just buy stupid, stupid, stupid shit just because it's entertaining. That's why I'm definitely gonna have to. I'm glad I have my wife because it's like She'd probably have to beat you in the back of the head. But with that being said, that's all the time we got for this episode. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Welcome to the city where chaos thrives. Kevin and Eric keep people alive. Random talks and stories collide. Bar City Anthem, let's take a ride. Bar City, the place to be. Laughs and madness, wild and free. Tune in now, let the good vibes flow. Bar City, your favorite show. Guitars, drum, and synths ignite. Jokes and banter, morning or night. From the weird to the totally bizarre. Bar City legends, shining like a star. Bar City, the place to be. Laughs and madness, wild and free. Tune in now, let the good vibes flow. Bar City, your favorite show. Guitars, drum, and synths ignite. Jokes and banter, morning or night. From the weird to the totally bizarre. Bar City, a legend, shining like a star. Bar City, the place to be. Laughs and madness, wild and free. Tune in now, let the good vibes flow.